Welcome everybody to the latest episode of Scottish Watches Live. The first episode of Scottish Watches Live without a Scotsman in it. So this is going to be pretty interesting, okay? Today we have a number of watch nerds. Here they are. Say hello everybody. There we go.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, I was waiting for that. So we are going...
Can always count on me to have the dad jokes.
Yep. So we are going to talk today. The topic is this: best green and red watches. Everybody's chosen two of these. Before we start, let's just go around, introduce everybody. Everyone say something about themselves, where they are, who they are, what they're wearing, and we'll start with Sean.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean. I'm at The Complicated Wrist on Instagram. I'm coming from Washington, D.C. in the States. And today I'm wearing my Omega Seamaster GMT, the Great White.
The Great White, wow.
Love it.
Okey-dokey. And as you can see, we have a new guest today, who is Brittany. And introduce yourself briefly, Brittany, and then we can let you talk a bit more, maybe when we start the rest of the show. So
I like how you said briefly. You said briefly because you know I'm a talker.
exactly. You can be brief now, a little longer later, then I'll cut
Not
you
at
off.
all.
Okay?
Very understated.
Hello, everyone. Hello. So I'm Brittany at WatchGringa is my Instagram name. Some of you might be unfortunate enough to already follow me. So I live in Britain, but I'm from Canada originally, and I'm located just between Bristol and Bath, somewhere between there. It's a lovely place to be. Yeah, full of lovely people, so they can tell something's not quite right with me. And today I'm wearing a Rolex Submariner green, staying on topic for us.
Yeah, let's see that again.
Very appropriate.
Well, the date's wrong, so I didn't want you guys to look too hard.
I never set the date on mine anyway.
No, I always forget.
That's why I hate date windows. They're just so annoying.
I know.
Okay, Lucy.
Hello. Probably seen my face quite a lot recently. Sorry about that. I'm the Watchbox Diaries on Instagram, and today I'm sporting my little vintage Roma, which if anybody caught mine and Sarah Ferguson's and I suppose Ricky's podcast the other week about auctions, we actually spoke about Roma, so it inspired me to wear this a little bit more. Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, we have Derek.
Hey, I'm Derek in Brooklyn, New York. Derek Hager on Instagram. I'm wearing my new Baltic Aquascaf GMT.
Ooh.
Lovely.
Ooh.
I was intrigued about those. So you might have to.
I'll ship it over when I'm done with it.
Yeah, thanks. A week on the wrist for me. That would be great.
Okay, so that's all of us done. And since we have a new guest, Britt, talk a bit more about yourself, within reason, of course.
Oh, awesome. Well, you're giving me free reign. Just talk
We've
about
only got an hour, Britt.
Yeah,
Come on now.
So you've only got about 20 seconds.
You get the next 20
just because
minutes.
you're new.
Right. Well, we're making all these jokes because I work as a pastor in the Church of England. So I can really talk your ear off if you let me. If you give me any form of platform, I could talk to you for a good bit of time straight. So originally a Canadian gal, moved out to the UK because I got married to a British man. And he's actually the one who got me into watches. I thought watch collecting was very stupid and I didn't understand it for some time. I was like, why would you spend thousands of pounds on these things when your phone tells you the time more accurately? So I'm actually still quite new to the hobby. My husband got me into it. Now I'm quite a big watch nerd.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, this is like what the Ricks call first world problems. You know, like
Right.
spending money on watches.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, why the heck would any sane person spend £3,000, let alone £30,000 or £300,000 on a watch when, you know? So it's just it's passions have no cost. So yeah.
I tried to explain this to a friend the other day. They're like, that's a lot of money to spend on a watch. But I think people spend far more on cars, and it's perfectly acceptable. You could spend you could have people out there spending £100,000, £250,000 on a flashy sports car, and everyone just gets really excited about it. Whereas if you spend even £10,000 on a watch, people question it. But everyone has their hobbies, and it's exactly the same. Art, cars, watches. It's just whatever floats your boat.
Amen, sis. I always say everyone's allowed one expensive hobby, and this is the one I chose.
It's a good hobby.
Just as long as you don't get into debt for it, okay? That is going to, because that is going to be, that's dangerous, okay? So, yep.
Yeah, but if you play your cards right, you could get out with more money than you came in with, which I don't think is the case with cars or a lot of other expensive hobbies.
That's only if you can get a Rolex at retail.
Exactly.
No, I don't like that about it. I don't like people that buy a watch not to wear a watch as a watch. They buy it for the whole purpose of earning more money and reselling it.
I didn't mean like flipping. I just meant that if you if a lot of them you can keep them for X amount of years, and then if you do need to sell them or anything, you're not just throwing that $3,000 in the garbage.
Yeah.
I think what Derek's saying is when he ships the watch over to you, Lucy, you're going to be paid for it.
That's what I was trying to say. Thanks.
Oh, thanks.
And if you hear some wrestling in the background, my husband, Watch Poppy, has just arrived at home.
Oh, okay.
Welcome home.
Hello, Mr. Watchbringer. Mr. Watchbringer. Okay, so I'd just get on and start with the watches. So let's have a look what the order is. Okay.
Before we get up.
Yep. I'm gonna have to try this now. Okay.
Wasn't this originally supposed to be Christmas theme? Now it just seems Muppet theme.
I'm enjoying the Muppet theme though.
The Muppets do have a version of the Christmas Carol though, which I think
is incredible.
That's true. That is true.
That's it.
I don't know why this came up to me because it was green and red, and the first thing that came into my mind when I thought green was the Kermit. And then, okay, I have to find a suitable Muppet for the red. And I've always loved Animal because he's the best Muppet. Anyway. Honestly, I mean, how can you go? You can't get any better than Animal.
He's the drummer.
That's what it came out. the Animal and Kermit, and the colors.
Yep.
They do cool. They do harken to Christmas. So we'll. It's kind of.
This is like the watch version of a Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. Couldn't have said it better myself. Okay, so who's up first? So it's Brittany, and this is Brittany's choice. These are her choices. So the Hamilton American Classic, Pan Europe, something missing there, Auto Green Dial, and the little Lange one, which is red-ish. Okay, we'll give her that. It's not really red. It's kind of more like a wine, I suppose. Purple.
It is
classed as red wine, so.
I did want to know how true to red we were staying. I'm going to pitch it as oxblood.
Yeah, oxblood, yeah. We're going to have to get Kid on Ox and see what color blood comes out.
That's what Oris have coined theirs, and that's definitely not the right color.
Oxblood, very popular these days.
So, Brittany, tell us why you picked these two watches.
Well, Gigi, first of all, when it was just us in the waiting room, you referred to me as the honored guest, which you didn't do publicly. So I'll excuse that.
Sorry about that. I did. Did I say that before? Oh, sorry. Okay.
He did. I can't prove it.
No.
This is being recorded.
You've upset the guest already.
I'll check that. Yep. I'll check that later.
Such a diva. Right. Okay. So technically, everyone, I have to be honest with you guys. As a pastor, I have to come clean. It's technically listed as purple. But let me tell you my reasoning as to why this is okay. So really, purple is just like a variation of red. This is like an oxblood red kind of color. Something you might not know as well. Until the 1950s, pink was listed as a boy's color and not like a traditional girl's color because it was a variation of red, which they considered to be a more masculine color. So with all this in mind, please do have mercy on me. So this is a watch that honestly just speaks to me. So as watches in our watch world keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and then men have the audacity to like ask us, like, why aren't women getting into the hobby? And it's like, well, babes, because I don't want to wear a 45 millimeter thing. They're finally making something for us little people, us wee people. It's the little Lange number 1. And even like a Lange number 1 normally is 38 millimeter. So you might say, oh, that's not that big, Brittany. But I mean, you're not wrong. But if I wear a dress watch, I want it to fit the same way it would fit a bigger wrist, if that makes sense. And the little Lange like hits that for me. To me, perfect dimension. So it's 36 mil. Well, 36.8, I think. And the Lange number 1 already iconic piece. So it really like launched the revival of ALS in the 90s. My husband revels in its mathematical precision because there's like some isosceles triangles or something. I don't know. Math isn't my thing. You lost me at mathematical precision. But I think it's like this beautiful example of German Lange artistry. And even though it like shouldn't be balanced, it is. It's gorgeous. Manual wind, so you can connect with that baby. But you don't have to connect with it that much because it's got a 3-day power reserve. Twin main spring barrel. And we can't not talk about that cock. Balance, cool. The balance cock engraving, gorgeous. Roman numeral numbers, so classy. Alligator strap, beautiful. On the red model, it's white gold. And I would personally do the no diamonds for me. Gorgeous guilloche as well. I don't know if you can see all the beautiful guilloche. But for me, I think this watch is just perfection, an absolute showstopper. And like, shout out to the Germans and everything they're doing because it's gorgeous.
So it's on on your wish list, basically.
I mean, kind of.
Your husband knows what to buy you for Christmas then, so there's no problems there. Right?
Yeah, and it's good because he's home now, so we can hear this conversation happening.
Dropping hints. Ever so subtly.
A subtle hint. I want a Lange for Christmas. Okay. Did you the Hamilton? I didn't actually. This Hamilton looks pretty cool. I've never seen that model before.
It looks like a
I don't think I've seen it either.
Sell it, Gigi. Sell it. Do my job for me. Yeah.
No, you have to do your job. But I've never seen it, so I can't say much about it. But I think
Hamilton turtle.
It would have looked a lot better with that Seiko kind of day-date kind of thing in there.
Okay.
I was going to say, it does actually remind me of the Willard that I just bought my other half.
I was liking you, Gigi, but now you're not selling it as much, so...
Okay.
We've got to stop this. Now, I actually had something else in mind. This was actually a backup. Someone took my number 1. There's so many fantastic green pieces you could really choose, but I was really feeling this one. Like you, Gigi, I've written some jokes. Well, it doesn't have...
Make us laugh.
Guys, well, it doesn't have the cock of a Lange. It bears the good name of Lewis Hamilton. Am I right?
Who's a cock in himself?
And you're a pastor, you said?
Oh, boy.
He's a big cock. Okay, anyway.
I just needed to tie in a Lewis Hamilton joke on Scottish watches. Okay, so this green little bitty, this is serving me 60s vibes. So receive it. This takes me to a place before COVID, before Donald Trump, before Bojo, before any of this stuff is happening. This takes me to a place where it's like, oh my God, it's the 60s. Everything's possible. Let's go to the moon. America's got this stylish, cool president in Kennedy. Andy Warhol's making pop art. Girls are wearing short dresses, and we're all listening to the Beatles. Don't think about assassinations or civil rights things. Forget all those things. We're thinking Bowie. We're thinking Twiggy. And we're American kids going on a road trip. We love Bruce Springsteen and wearing denim. This is what this is serving me. This is where it takes you. Anything is possible. And if you follow me on Instagram for any reason, you would know I love a hammy. I love a Hamilton. Like, I feel like they pack a mean punch at really good price points.
It's
So
below
this
1,000.
one,
I
I
think
think
it's like below $1,000. It's below 1,000. I think something. It's not terribly expensive.
yeah, I think it packs a really good thing. So this one is serving you an automatic movement, sporty leather strap. It's got sapphire glass, Swiss.
What's going on with that strap? I think someone just commented it looks lumpy.
Well, some people have no taste. So
Don't want to call any names out here, but everyone will see.
It's the
They
whole
missed that.
kind of driving strap.
It does look like you know, when you used to go on holiday and you got your like that bit of your hair braided in like the
okay,
It
I'm
does
not
look like
familiar
that.
with us.
I'm gonna need you to stop.
Maybe not with you
talking.
guys.
I'm gonna need you to stop talking while I try to sell this piece. It's got holes in it. This picture just like isn't serving it justice. But this isn't the picture I chose, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry, that's okay. My
Okay,
fault.
you're offending
Strike
the
two,
host
Gigi.
now. I mean, he can just
Strike
kick
two.
you out of this chat right now.
Hey guys, no. Think of this. Just bring yourself back to the 60s. Forget about Brittany. This one is like smooth, masculine, quirky, but individualistic, stylish, and still quite sporty. Only qualm with this one for the gringa is that it's 42 mil. So it's actually a bit too big for me personally. It's not one I'd be able to wear on the regular, I don't think. It's more one my husband would have, and I would steal it as often as I could. Although I do have a Speedy that's the same size, so maybe I would wear it more than I think I would. But I
sure
think
you
it's
would.
just sporty, sleek. I think it's a strong choice. Although it's not my first choice, I think it's a very strong choice. And I submit those to you, my friends.
Okie dokie.
Thank you
Okay,
very
now
much.
this is the. I think Brittany could be a used car sales girl because she could,
Well, I
that's
have the
not-
hardest sales job in the world. I have the hardest sales job in the world. I have to try to convince people Jesus is cool. Do you know how
Okay,
hard that
yes.
is?
Yeah. You won't have a hard job doing that. Okay. So let's start voting. So let's
Oh
see
yeah,
what
we're
first
voting
question.
now, aren't we?
You have to voting. Yeah, exactly. So you.
I'm glad there's no zero involved today
Are we-
because
are
that's
we
just
voting?
brutal.
You're first up, Lucy. What do you think
Ooh.
of them, and what's your vote, Mark?
I love you, and you know, welcome to the show.
Okay. We know where this is
But-
going.
That's never a good sign.
The Hamilton doesn't do it for me, and the Lange isn't red. Ralph made a good point that he
Ralph?
said, Sean, please choose a blue watch as it's actually part of green. If you choose a yellow and a blue, you get green. And I feel like that was your logic
It's oxblood.
today.
Okay.
It's brown.
So I know where
I'm
this
going
is
to go
going,
with
Lucy.
a 2.
Oh, 2. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
that's strong. That's really strong. Thank
Okay.
you.
I mean, the max is 4. So,
So yeah, nobody's gonna be completely disappointed today
no.
because of the. Okay, so I have to cast a vote because Dave isn't here, unfortunately. So I have to be Dave.
I feel like Dave would love it.
I'm sure Dave would. Yeah,
Dave just, likes anything that annoys multiple people.
multiple people, but the Hamilton, I'm not sure he would have liked. The Lange, yes. Okay, he is a big fan of Lange. I know that, but he may have said, okay, Dave being Dave, he would have said that's not really red. And so you know where this is going.
That's a really good Dave impression.
Yeah,
Dave would have been
it's
like,
not
It is
really
actually.
red. That's not really red. So that's the best I can do. And so I'm gonna give it.
How many
a-
people can we offend with terrible accents today?
Everybody. Yeah. So I'm gonna give it a 2 as well. There we go. 2,
also
2.
strong, and I'll take it.
Okie dokie. Next up is Derek.
All right. I don't personally love either of those watches, regardless of what color they are. But I'm gonna give that a 2, mostly just for the time traveling Americana tour you took us on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we had JFK listening to Bruce Springsteen in there.
Decades off.
So I enjoyed that. So that's a 2.
Okie dokie. And last, Sean.
I mean, I've got to agree with Ralph. It's purple. It's not red. But
Ralph.
I also got
Ralph's
to
not here.
There's no Ralph here.
Ralph.
in the comments,
Sorry.
Ralph.
He's in the
Ralph
chat.
Sorry.
But for your enthusiasm and just sheer will to try to sell us this, I got to go with it too.
Wow, that was easy. So that's an easy average to do. I've got a spreadsheet set up, but it's probably not going to be working.
Get the advocates out.
Yeah.
This should be relatively easy, man.
Okie dokie. So next. Who's next? It's Lucy, and this is This is not me. That's me. Oh, there we go. Lucy.
Oh, I wish there were more pictures of these.
Piaget Altiplano Malachite and the Grand Seiko SBGH 269 Autumn Red. Go, Lucy.
So yeah, I really wish there were more pictures of the Piaget because it's so good. It's ridiculous. And I love the way you say it, Gigi. You can keep repeating that if you want to. So the first up is the Grand Seiko. So I loved this based on first pictures before I even saw it in my hands. And then my other half actually has one. And they are so much better in person than they are in pictures as well, which makes me love it even more. In typical Grand Seiko style, there's some, soppy background story to it in regards to the textures and the colours. I think it's supposed to represent the traditional wooden floors amongst the autumn leaves. And obviously the colour is, autumn in Japan. If you're not really into that mushy, gooey thing, the dial itself is just incredible. You catch it in different lights as well, and it just bounces off, and it's gorgeous. Perfect sizing. Limited to 900 pieces at the moment, I'm sure. It's the High Beat 9S85, so very good movement. It's actually got a open case back with the green platinum oscillating weight as well, which I thought was quite quirky. Obviously, you've got the green leaves, and then you've also got the red. So I thought that was quite a good mix there. And then the Piaget is just incredible. You need to go and Google it after this because that dial is incredible. It's obviously the malachite dial, and the way they all put it together is absolutely fascinating. 41 mil, 18 karat rose gold, sapphire case back, hand winding, ultra thin, limited to 8 pieces, unfortunately. But I guess
you're not going to buy it anyway, are you?
I don't think I can afford it, to be honest. With it being a tourbillon, and obviously every piece is handmade, and the jewels on the dial are put together in arranged in a sunny side of life effect. So they're sort of circled in the way that the sunlight goes out. So I absolutely adore it. So those are my choices.
Yeah, there's. I agree with you that there's no picture will do a Grand Seiko justice, especially the dial. I mean, it's just they're made to play with light, and I looked for pictures, and I know this is the least boring one I could find, but not because Grand Seiko is a boring brand. I mean, not to me, but they're just there's no way you're going to get a good picture of a Grand Seiko. You have to go and see one. So, Brittany, your vote for Lucy.
Well, Lucy, you know that I love you as a person.
This is how it starts. She's just getting her aim back now, isn't she?
Yeah. No, not at all. Whereas I feel like I don't like Seiko as much as your average little chicken. I do respect Grand Seiko, and I think the Piaget choice was just, so I'm going to give you a 3.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'll take that. And the comments about corduroy trousers and geography teachers' trousers in the comments as well.
Okay. I've got to go through those comments later.
How are people seeing comments? Where are these comments?
They're just
They're in, you have to
Oh,
go
I see. Oh my goodness.
you're missing out.
Look at all the people here. Ralph's here. Tick tick broom. Oh gosh.
Arr. So next up is Dave, which is me. Okay,
Hello, Dave.
And hello, Dave. I'm Dave. And I am a great fan of Grand Seiko. I own one, and that's a cracking watch. I'm not such a big fan of Piaget. I don't know why. Some of their watches are just so blingy. This one is actually incredibly. That is an incredible watch.
Yeah, they had a couple that are like covered in diamonds, and I'm just not about that shiny life.
They've just hurt the eyes. But this one actually looks incredibly, just a masterpiece of a watch. So I am going to give you 3 as well.
Thank you.
Okay, number 3. And Derek.
I feel like we're all just voting the same numbers across the board. But that's a 3 for me too. I don't really know about the Piaget, but I'll take your word for it that it looks good in other photos.
Like,
but
when we're done here, go and have a little Google.
I will.
So good.
And the Grand Seiko though is great. I forgot about that one when I was trying to think of red watches, and now I'm kicking myself. So 3.
Thank you.
Oh, Lucy, I knew you were going to choose this one for the red.
And Sean, okay. I'm gonna, Sean, break the trend.
Yeah, let me just preface this. I picked my number before Derek's comment, and the Grand Seiko, it's not my favorite dial they do because I'm not a huge red thing, but that Piaget, I've never seen it before. It's gorgeous, so I've got, for that, you get a 4.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. Okay.
It might be a week that I don't come last.
No, you might come dead first here.
I revoke it.
Remember, you saw it here. Okay.
It never happens. Let me have this one, Sean.
Okay. Now it's unfortunately it's up to me to fill Dave's shoes, and I'll show you what he chose. I'm going to be very brief because I didn't do any research on these watches, so I'm going to have to. So he chose the Streamliner green, which Britt wanted to choose.
This is the one stolen from me. This would be my number one choice. Tried it on recently in London.
I knew this was going to come up.
This will get my 4.
Yeah. And the other is another Grand Seiko with a red dial, which unfortunately looks brown.
That red?
Here.
It looks brown.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, there's
ox-blood.
No way. It's red. Okay, take my word for it.
We've just seen a red dial they do. That does not look like
You guys didn't know ox-blood if it hits you on the head. That's ox-blood.
Maybe if it wasn't surrounded by brown.
Yeah, I didn't.
It would look
That's
different.
a very wise choice for a background. But I saw some videos of it, and it, when it plays with the light, it has this kind of feather-like dial. It looks like very fine feathers, and it has incredible variations, and it with shades of red all over the spectrum. This photo doesn't do it justice. Like the Piaget before, you have to go see this, and I'm sure Dave owns one of these because he owns every watch on the planet.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, and I can't say much more about it. It's a Grand Seiko. Finishing is going to be like bonkers, and pricing is going to be below anything you can buy with that level of finish. And Moser, I'm not a... Okay, Dave has one of these as well. We all know because he's been like, he hasn't hidden the fact that he's bought one. So I'm going to have to sell these. So I have to be Dave, vote for me. And I think that dial, only Moser can that's another watch you have to probably go and see in the flesh because no pictures will ever do it justice. This new Streamline, the bracelet looks just incredible. I'm not a big fan of that, cushion kind of squarish shape of the watch, and it's not me, but Dave probably would have said he loves it. And I'm gonna end it there because I'm probably gonna get like a 0, even if it's not on the list. So I'm gonna move to Brittany and ask her to Give me a vote. Give Dave a vote, actually.
Give my vote.
Yep.
Well, you guys already know where this is going. That would have been my green choice, not my red choice, but I identify that as red, quite obviously.
Exactly.
I feel like a corrupt politician.
Okay.
4.
A 4.
Oh God.
Oh,
Like those people that identify as microwaves.
Oops, sorry. And Lucy, your turn to destroy
Oh,
it.
very smooth transition there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am. I do find that a lot of company pictures, like their own pictures, do not do it justice at all. Yeah, like their render, I don't think they do them justice at all. I like the Grand Seiko, obviously, but it does remind me a little bit of my Presage in terms of its shape and the bracelet. So it's maybe a bit too similar to that. I very nearly picked one of the Moses for my green choice as well. However, I do not like these ones. I don't like where they've gone with them at all. No, I just, no.
A scandal.
It's a 1, Dave. I'm sorry.
Is that a 2?
That's a 1.
That's a 1.
If I had a 0, he'd probably get a 0, but the 1 is for the Grand Seiko. That's not red.
Okay, that kind of evens out the 4 there. Next up is Derek.
That's a tough one because all I have left is my highest and my lowest. Well, I really like the Moser, but I like the from those streamliners. I like the chronograph one a lot better, which I don't think they make in a green. But and then the Grand Seiko is nice, as all Grand Seikos are, but it's kind of hard to tell if that was red or brown or. So I guess that has to get my 1. Sorry, Dave. /GG.
Okay. Yeah, that's Dave. It's not Gigi. I'm just filling in for Dave.
Yeah, we're not chatting you, Gigi.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
I know. I'm just a stopgap for Dave.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, exactly. Sean.
Right. So once again, I think the Grand Seiko's purple, brown, or oxblood, whatever that is. And I love the Moser. I love the case. I love it, but I wish they'll come out with one with that blue dial that they just released in the Streamliner chronograph version. Mm-hmm. So for that, I'm going to go with a 1. Sorry, Dave and Gigi.
Okay, this is that's really ugly. Okay, very well, very well. We that 4 at the beginning.
Don't take it to heart. It's not you.
No,
Don't worry.
It's not me. Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. I'm not one to take things personally. Okay, but Dave does. So.
He'll just slate us all on the chat later. It's all right.
Yeah, exactly. He'll kill us.
Dave, remember, I give you a 4.
Next up is Derek.
Well, considering that I'm last, is there even any point in this?
No, not last. No, that's Sean.
You're not last.
Sean's still there.
Sean's okay.
All
right. Finish last if you want.
I think it's just because he's got 1 number. Have you got 1 number left? You confused?
Yeah, I only have. I always get confused with these numbers.
Yeah, that's the rules are.
It's my thing.
You do seem to struggle with these numbers every week.
Numbers are hard. They go so high.
1 to 4.
They go so high.
Okay.
Okay, go.
Down
right,
to business. So let's start with the green one. The MB&F, I think MB&F kind of speaks for themselves. Everything they do, pretty much, even if I don't feel like I could get away with wearing like a lot of them, they're all really, really cool to look at. I've seen a few of them in person, and they're just amazing. And this one is interesting. It has the balance wheel is on top there, and it's separated from the other escapement parts that are moved underneath. Cool. So all you see is the spinning balance wheel, which is pretty interesting. It also has a push button date set, which is nice. It's titanium. It's I don't know what size it is. Let me find my documents. 44 millimeters, so not too gigantic. Yeah, that's about all I got for that one. And then the Oris,
Speaks for itself.
It also speaks for itself.
So it does.
It's almost like a bit of oxblood coming back in there.
One might say that it's oxblood or brown or purple, as we like to call
Only
it.
in quotation marks.
Right. But so I really like the Diver 65. Anytime I think of like a red sports watch, this is the one that pops in my head, because like I don't know that there are a lot of other kind of red dive watches out there. I like the Diver 65. They do the same thing that Blancpain does with the 50 Fathoms, where they only make no date in their limited edition. So like if you want a no date Diver 65, it's got to be this one or the Hodinkee one or the whatever that green one is that's with a jeans company. I forgot their name.
Do you own one of these?
I do not. This is before my Red Bar days, so I'll probably never have one. I think they were limited to like 100.
Yeah.
But you see them around every once in a while, and it's a really solid oxblood sports watch.
And that's Arthur confirmed actual oxblood, not imitation.
Oh my god! Like Arthur knows.
An ox had to lay his life on the line to get the color for that. Okay, and let's go. Yeah, and it's one thing I'm picking up from this. It's red is a difficult color to pick. Green is a whole lot easier. This red is that's not red. But green is kind of a more sure thing. Green is green. So
I think there are a lot more green options out there than there are red.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I'm just impressed we got through it without anyone picking a Hulk for their green watch too.
I really thought
I
someone
almost
would.
did. I almost did.
It's kind of like back in the movie episode. I kind of just assumed everybody was going to pick that one.
Yeah, I figured that'd be one. That and the Moser would be the first to go, but I'm impressed.
I thought so too, but I didn't see any Hulks
Yeah.
coming, so I was happy because it's an obnoxious watch. It just I can't look at it.
It's for people.
Now you do really sound like Dave, Gigi.
Oh, do
Yeah.
I? Okay. See, I'm getting it.
It's like he's here.
Because I'm a method actor, so I have to get into the part. Okay, Brittany, what do you think of these two watches?
Well, Derek, remember when you gave me a harsh score because
it was right in the middle. That's not harsh.
but not red.
It was mediocre at best.
Oh no! This is going back.
But there's not even an explanation here. This is purely personal.
This is big fat one.
It's not personal. It's just business.
What Sean said.
Okay, and let's see what Lucy has left.
I really like both of these options. My other red option was the Fratello Oris choice as well. So absolutely love both of them. You get my 4.
Hey.
Okay.
Big props.
Ta-da! And it's now up to me, and let's see what I've got left. I like the Oris Diver 65 a lot. I'm not a big fan of MB and F because they're incredible watches, but it's something I could probably never wear. They're just too crazy for me. So I'm gonna have to.
Do you want to put it on your face, Gigi?
Sorry.
Hi, everyone.
Giving the fans what they want.
Okay, let's get back to my horrible face.
I love how the price tag's still on the wine bottle facing out for everyone.
Oh, yeah. So everyone knows I went to a fancy wine shop.
Okay, Derek, nothing personal. I'm going for because I've only got the 1 and 4 left, so it's a 1 for me.
Understandable.
Sorry, Sean.
Oh,
Yeah, it's always hard, isn't it, when you sort of go middle ground at the beginning, and then you've only got both ends of the spectrum.
What have you got left, Sean? What have you got left?
You're like, but what do we know?
I got left what I would actually give this. You actually picked the green watch I almost picked, and I thought for sure someone's going to pick it, so I'm glad you did. So, but the Oris loses in points, so you get a 3.
Okay,
I'll take it.
So good.
Okay, that's leaves us with Sean's picks. So, as Derek said, is there a point doing this? Yes, there is. So because we're going to let Sean talk about his watches because he deserves
Pick
it.
a red watch. You got to let me talk.
Exactly. And because they're really awesome
Looks
watches.
pink.
Oh, come on, that's not red either.
Those
It's
are clash
raspberry.
Are
ones.
you guys all just colorblind?
It's a little bit more red than oxblood.
I think red and green are the colorblind colors that you get wrong, right?
I know
Exactly, yeah.
oxblood when I see oxblood.
You all need to go to the opticians.
Somebody said in the chat, how many times can Gringa say oxblood?
So many. So
A
many.
nervous tick today.
I'm going to start with my red watch choice. I'll even do the air quotes for everyone to make it happy. But it's a Moser, and everyone, when you think Moser, you think green. But they did this last year, this perpetual calendar. It's an instantaneous changing perpetual calendar, which only Moser, Lange, Patek do, and Jorn. So
Only.
those. But Moser's able to do it at a price point which you can afford if you sell your all your
house.
possessions. You can
Your liver?
yeah, you sell your liver, you sell your
Have
car.
a kidney over.
Moser
It'll be fine.
And it's got this raspberry red dial in their traditional
Oxblood.
raspberry oxblood.
Oxblood raspberry.
But I mean, look at that dial. They say raspberry, but that's sexy like a chocolate strawberry. You just gotta love how rich the tone is there, especially closer to the center. It's just that pure red oxblood color. Like the only problem is I wish the dahlia was red instead of black. I mean,
Oh my god.
Moser it's the brand on the up and coming. Like everyone's hot on Jorn right now, but Moser's the Jorn to come. Like Watchbox is saying, so they set the trend. They're the ones
I
selling
agree
it.
with you.
Yeah.
Moser, you can't go wrong. Beautiful perpetual calendar, affordable, instantaneous changing perpetual calendar in that it's only 40 grand. So buy this or a BMW M5, whatever. But that's my choice for red.
Okay. And
For
green?
Good choice.
For green, I want to choose something more left field, and I feel like Glashütte is a brand that's always forgotten. It's probably a brand that Swatch Group even forgets they own. They just don't get it up. And they do some really cool dials every now and then. And for the last few years, they've been doing these like annual color dials. So the green dial here is from 2018, and it's got this like texture to the dial that looks like rain on your windshield when you're driving, where it just the water just starts to pull out as it goes in. Maybe even like the iris of the big green giant. It's just mesmerizing. It's beautiful, and it's affordable, and it's green, and it's not like a Hulk. So that's why you should vote for me.
Because these enamel dials, Glashütte has a technique. Actually, maybe only Anne Ordain comes close to doing some this kind of vitreous enamel dial with that underlying kind of foil kind of effect, which is absolutely just mesmerizing. Yeah, there are no other words for it. Really incredible watch. Okay, so we're gonna have to vote for this, but it's pretty much. If anybody wants to say something about those watches, I'd love to allow them to speak. So, Brittany, go.
Well, I got to do some pastor shit right now. Through God, all things are possible. Is it possible for me to give a 4 again?
No, it isn't.
No.
Yeah,
Not like that. Have you not been
If you
watching?
steal this selection from me, you should give me a 4.
The Holy Spirit? The Holy
No,
Spirit
yeah, the Holy
said
Spirit.
4.
You have
But
to ask. No,
on my earthly limitations,
exactly.
I'll have to say 2. But the Holy Spirit wanted to say 4. So you do with
Okay.
that what you will. But
I can't
2
believe
is-
you're.
We're counting God's votes here.
Yeah,
I can't
exactly.
believe you're using religion to try and bend the rules of Scottish Watchers Live.
Oh, honey, that's what we do. That's what we do in the
Brutal.
church.
No.
We're gonna have to get God on the show one day. Okay. I think Brittany can help us there.
I kind of have some hookups, Gigi. You don't even know.
Yeah.
Okay, and Lucy.
I obviously only have a 3 left, but
You
very,
think
very
they
good
deserve the
choices.
3? Yeah.
I would have given 3. I totally forgot about the Glashütte. I love them. Absolutely love. I find their dials really, really interesting. And you were saying their price points are really, really good, and I completely agree. I don't agree that the Moser is a red.
It's
But-
red for this show.
We're just accepting that everyone here is colorblind today. So yes, I love it. Go for
The
it.
new title of this episode
Red.
is going to be
It's Oxblood Red.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oxblood.
Should have
How many times can you say it?
Yeah, exactly. I think that there are oxes all over the world that are
They're
trembling
shaking.
now.
Yeah. Oh my god.
They're trembling
They're
because
summoning us.
something's going to happen. It's my turn. I've only got a 4 left, but honestly, I would have given a 4. I love Moser, and like Sean said, they are the up-and-coming jour, and I like their minimalism. I mean, only Moser. This is a particular, perpetual calendar with a day and date. They actually make a perpetual calendar with just the day, the day of the month, and only Moser would do something like that. I mean, a perpetual calendar with just, with none of the razzmatazz that other perpetual calendars have with 50 dials on them that tell you the year. I mean, what do you need to know the year for? If you don't know the year, you've got problems. Okay, so like IWC, they have the year in it. I mean, it looks cool. Okay,
Yeah.
but okay, yeah, whatever. And Glashütte, same applies. Incredibly finished dials. The pricing is there. I mean, these watches, I think they're a steal for what they sell for. So they deserve my 4, and that closes it off. So let's see how it goes. And
Hey, wait, I don't get to vote.
Oh,
I want
come
that.
on.
Doing this election
sorry,
for me,
Derek.
What if he wants to say something?
Say something, please.
Make
So
a
much to
comment.
say.
Come on, Derek.
Like, comment, subscribe, Derek.
Right. I don't have a lot to say about them. Sean, you said I picked your green one. You picked that was going to be my green one, the Glashütte, so good choice. And the Moser, that's not my favorite Moser because I feel like the date a little bit breaks up those Moser dials that everybody likes so much, but still a good one. So that probably would have gotten my 4 regardless if it wasn't the only one I had left.
Thank you.
Okay. 4. Okay, let's just tot it up.
I know.
Okay, so first place tied, Sean and Lucy. Yeah, so
What's
tied.
the tiebreaker, Gigi?
The Holy Spirit vote. I get that 1 extra point.
Don't forget. Spirit spoke.
Third place, Derek with 2 and 2 spot 25. Fourth place, Brittany with 2, and last, Dave with 1.75.
Chicken.
Yay!
What you
Gets
get
the
for not
booby
showing up.
prize.
Yeah.
Okay.
So fault.
I
I don't know. I think he probably would have got those scores had he been here anyway.
So nobody can sleep. Nobody can sleep calm tonight because Dave has lost, and he'll be getting his minions to come over tonight to your houses. So be careful.
It's fine. I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm tougher than I look.
I'd sleep with a gun under my pillow if I were you. Okay.
I've got a sword on the wall, so that's got to count for something.
Yeah, Brit's ready.
So just
Who
take
has
it
a
off
sword
the
on their wall?
Okay, so we're coming to the end of the show. Thank you all for coming. Remember the usual, remember to like, everybody who's been watching, like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever. Also, check out the Scottish Watches podcast, which is out twice weekly, and also the new Scottish Watches Unbox channel. For those of you who have an unboxing fetish, I know you're out there. And before we go,
It is exciting.
is it?
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously more exciting when it's your watch, but
Yeah, I know.
Can I just point out something? I think Ralph made a good point in the chat that this is going to be a great audio podcast. It's just an hour of people arguing about subtle different shades of red.
In that case, all are
50 Shades of Oxblood.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be. I'm happy about that comment. Actually, good. Means we're useful for something, right? I mean, otherwise, what are we doing?
You've got all the logins now, TG. Just do it. Just upload it. It's their own fault for giving us the access.
Got to be careful what I cast on the Scottish Watches Live channel. I have the keys to the domain, so I have to be careful.
You're far too sensible.
I'm far too sensible. Yeah, I'm a serious guy. But before we go, anyway, a couple of items of news. With the new year in sight and fears of yet another hike in prices, Rolex enthusiasts were quick to rush to their nearest AD. And with Christmas only 2 weeks away, the team at Scottish Watches are ramping up the effort to get loads of quality content out just in time for the festive season.
More accurate than anyone knows.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is where they are right now.
So that's us. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from all of them. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.